It was pretty costly stuff at the time when it was developed. Most of it was used for artillery alignment and gun support. A couple uniforms here from the Army Corps of Engineers depicting the difference between World War I and World War II uniforms. The gentleman on the left, that's probably the biggest World War I soldier I've ever seen. Most of the people at that time period were about my size, about 5'6", 100 pounds, 125 pounds. That guy is well about 6'6", and probably weighed about 180 pounds. He was Lieutenant, or Captain James Kellogg, as it was the name marked in that uniform. To the gentleman to the right was the youngest lieutenant colonel in the history of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers at that time, Justice Arneal. His children reside up in the Chicago, Illinois area at this time, near Oak Park. His unit was one of the first units that actually crossed the bridge at Remagen. They were kind of an unknown force. Nobody even knew that they were there. And so they take credit themselves of being the first ones across the Remagen Bridge. Next exhibit we have is Civil War time period. We're now into the 1860s. Most of the stuff you see on display here is on loan to us from the Civil War reenactors and Civil War historical roundtable here in Dominion County. We've got a lot of their artifacts are out right now too. They're using their equipment and stuff at reenactments. The flags that you see up above the window are reproductions. They are not original. We've had several complaints about why we have original Civil War flags not under glass. They've reproduced, especially the one with the eagle, the dark purple one on the left, and actually took it out and shot their own cannon through it. Turning behind us here now, we kind of get into the World War I period. We've got a little collection here that belonged to Dr. Raymond G. Kalui, that was a doctor during World War I, and also the uniform that you're looking here on the mannequin is early World War II. So he had been into both wars. He was from Homer, Illinois, so a local veteran. Coming on around, we still get out of the Civil War collection, and now we're getting into the World War I. A lot of artifacts we've collected of World War I time period. Almost seems we have more stuff for it than we actually have for World War II as far as accoutrements and weaponry. Here we see the hat at the time, campaign hat and garrison cap along with bayonets. Some of the trench daggers and stuff that they've used that are basically outlawed today by the Geneva Convention. You'll notice too the difference in the uniform. World War I, they only had one uniform. It was their battle uniform plus their dress uniform, where during World War II you had dress uniforms plus BDUs or battle dress clothing. Turning behind us again, we have a saddle from a cavalry unit from World War I. U.S. cavalry was in existence clear up to about 1942. We were still using horses. World War I was our first actual mechanized war that we fought in, where we actually started having